Hello, second grade families. I just wanted to do a quick little presentation about everything that we're going to be learning in second grade, as well as some other important information. And if you have any questions that come up, because I know this is a little bit different than our typical back to school night, please feel free to email me, call me at school, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So we'll go ahead and get started. Just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I graduated from Pius X in 2013, and then I graduated from UNL with a degree in elementary education in 2018. I've taught at St. Michael's for 2 years in kindergarten, and this is my first year at teaching second grade. I've had a couple of your kiddos in my kindergarten class, and I'm so excited to have them again. They have a very special place in my heart, being my very first class ever, and so getting to have them again is just such a big blessing, and I'm so excited for this school year. That's just a little bit about me. Contact information, office hours is 7:35 to 3:45. You can call the school office, leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, probably during my plan time or after school. Email is also a great way to reach me throughout the day. I usually check it pretty regularly. Or sending a note with your child in their take-home folder works great too. At the bottom of the screen is my email. I'm sure most of you probably already have it, but in case not, that is it. So moving into our daily schedule, we start off with morning work in the morning, so they come in and do some morning work, and then we go to Mass. We go to Mass on Mondays and Fridays, and the days that we don't go to Mass, we watch Mass through the YouTube channel in our classrooms. They're still able to participate in that. Then we go into math, and then specials, recess, lunch, religion with Sister Edith Marie, and then unit studies, which is social studies or science. We usually do 1 unit of science and then 1 unit of social studies, and kind of flip-flop that way throughout the school year. Then we go into reading, and then we have recess, and then we have guided reading, which is small groups where I pull them in, by my table, and they're grouped together by their reading levels. And then we have writing, and then we end with something called Second Steps, and it's a new curriculum that we use for social emotional learning, where students are able to learn how to deal with their emotions, and also some character building, so like having courage, having resilience, having that growth mindset, things like that. So that's how we usually wrap up our day, is with that. Moving into our behavior management plan. This is something that we used at the last year for behavior, and just a refresher, it's a philosophy of how to communicate behaviors to children, which is going to look different for every student, because every student is different and they require different things. So it allows children to work on that missing skill. So if a kiddo has a hard time talking while the teacher's talking, we view that as a missing skill, and that's something they need to work on. And so what it looks like in the classroom is that if a child is having a hard time following teacher's directions, or let's use the example of talking while the teacher's talking, we first have an in-class movement to kind of get them out of that environment, get them in a fresh perspective, and remove them from any distractions in the classroom. And so they're still able to participate with the class. They are still learning. It's not removing them from any learning environment. And that's usually where the problem typically stops. And then the next step, usually they do an out-of-class movement, which is where they would move to the class next door, and where they're still in the learning environment, but they're removed completely from the classroom. But because of COVID, instead we are going to have Mrs. Braun and Mrs. Shreve just come and process with them, and come back to the classroom with them, and then they backtrack. So then they go back to the seat that they got moved to, and then they go back to their normal seat, so they can fix their problems. It's just getting them the idea that they need to fix a problem where it started. So it's just a really good way of how to process those problems, and it's a learning experience for the child. So that's what kind of a brief overview of what BIST is. And then in our classroom, we have something called the class dojo points, and I'm sure you've had your kiddos talk about this at home. But it's just an individual incentive for kids, and students receive points if they are caught doing the following: helping others, staying on task, participating, and using teamwork. Our goal is to have 10 points in 1 week, and if they receive those 10 points, then they get this little scratch-off card, and underneath the scratch-off sticker has a little prize that they are able to earn, and so they have been loving that. So if you hear about that, that is what they're doing, and it's just a great way to keeping track of those positive behaviors and giving that positive reinforcement of behaviors that I want to see more often in the classroom. And they've been doing an awesome job with that. Next, we have our weekly newsletter. I hope you have been receiving my last couple of newsletters. If you haven't, please let me know, and I will make sure. I probably have the wrong email then or something, but on our weekly newsletter, we have important dates, objectives for the week, so things that we're going to be learning for the week, and other important information. That moves on to homework. So then homework is also, you can also see a schedule of homework that will be on the weekly newsletter. There will be homework typically every night, so it'll be a math worksheet, and then you'll be practicing some spelling words every night. Spelling starts this week, so then we'll have our test on Friday. So that's typically what homework will look like. Moving into curriculum, just a brief overview of each subject and what we'll be learning. So in reading, your child will be working on reading fluency, identifying key details, summarizing, asking, answering questions, making text connections, finding main character, all of that stuff while reading. We'll also be learning vocabulary words, writing, and phonemic awareness. And then we have our reading group. So your child has already actually been tested for their DRA level this school year. And so I've already constructed reading groups that best fit your child's reading needs. If you have any more specific questions about where your child is at, please feel free to ask. But we will meet daily in these reading groups. And in these small groups, we practice reading comprehension, reading fluency, working on the strategies and skills. But it's a little bit more tailored to your child's reading level and what they are needing. And like we kind of mentioned already, we have spelling. So pre-test will be given on Mondays. Tests will be given on Fridays. There will be on-level spelling lists and an advanced spelling list that will be given. The on-level is the blue spelling list, and then the purple sheet is the advanced spelling list. Your child will be sent home with a list of their words every Monday, so you know the words that they need to practice. Then we have writing, so using text to write a constructed response. Writing mechanics will practice proper grammar, spelling, punctuation, writing with voice and expression, all that good stuff. We'll also be learning how to write in cursive, which the kids are super excited about, which is kind of fun. Then math, just a brief overview. There's a lot that will be covered in math this year, but just a lot of adding and subtracting with different strategies, adding 2-digit numbers, money, time, looking at different types of graphs, 3-digit adding and subtracting. And then we'll end with arrays, which will kind of get them ready for multiplication in 3rd grade. And then science and social studies. Science, we're learning a lot about the earth, so different living things, weather and space, exploring matter, energy, and motion. Social studies is we're going to talk a lot about government. That's what we've been talking about this week in this unit. The world around us, history, resources around our environment. All right, so the big thing for 2nd grade is sacraments. We are so excited for the sacraments this year. Here are the dates for the sacraments. If you want to screenshot it while I'm talking on this video, that's probably a great idea for your reference. But we start with First Penance meeting is July 12th. First Penance is February 27th, and then First Holy Communion parent meeting is March 2nd, and then First Holy Communion retreat, which is an all-day retreat, is April 22nd, and then First Holy Communion is April 24th. Now, keep in mind, because of COVID, we don't exactly know what everything is going to look like, so just kind of be on the lookout for all those different changes and announcements. Either myself or Sister Edith Marie will be in contact with all of you about all of that and what it's going to look like. It's obviously a little too far in the future for us to completely tell you exactly what it's going to look like right now. So just be on the lookout for all of that. Very exciting. The kids are just so excited about that. And then Power School Learning, I'm sure you're very familiar with by now having to do online learning from last year. We will be using Power School Learning. I will be posting newsletters, your spelling words, reminders, and dates will be all posted on Power School Learning. So in case you lose your spelling words list, it'll be on Power School newsletters, all of that. And in case we move to remote learning, all of our online materials will be on Power School as well. And just a brief overview for COVID, everything that we are doing for COVID. We sanitize highly touched surfaces 2 to 3 times a day, frequent hand washing, sanitizing, social distancing in line, in the classrooms, lunch, and recess. There are dots all over St. Michael's, just keeping the kids, trying to keep them separated. They have to stand on their dot and all of that, trying our best to lessen the risk of COVID at St. Michael's so we can stay in school and not move to online learning. So then to wrap up, I do have a video of our classroom tour. If you would like to watch the video, I'm not going to play it on this video, but I will link the slide and everything to Power School Learning. So if you'd like to see a little tour of our classroom, please feel free to watch the video. It just kind of shows you what the environment your kid is going to be in for the year, and just because you can't all join us in our classroom, which is unfortunate because of COVID, I wanted to kind of give you a little taste of what your child experiences every day. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening and taking the time to watch. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will assist you as best I can. So yeah, thanks so much, and I hope you guys have a great night.